the other documents. We'll just take it from there. Give me just a second to get YouTube turned on. Welcome to the 186th District Court. Court is in session. This is cause number 2019 CR 10345, State of Texas versus Carlos Ledesma. We're here today for a plea. We're conducting this hearing via video conference using the Zoom application. We're also using YouTube to live stream the proceedings to keep the hearing public. The time now is 10:51 a.m. on the 23rd of June, 2021. These proceedings are official. They're on the record and they're being recorded by the official court reporter. Counsel and all present are instructed to act as though you're in court, and all are instructed not to record the proceedings. And if we could have the attorneys make appearances, starting with the state of Texas, please.
Lindsay Shaw for the state.
Javier Padilla for the defendant, Mr. Ledesma.
Sir, are you the same Carlos Ledesma charged by indictment with felon in possession of a firearm? Is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to use a function of Zoom called share screen. I'm going to show you the indictment in this case and ask you, are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over this with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Padilla, do we waive reading of the indictment? Mr. Padilla, do we waive reading of the indictment?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to get out of share screen. I'll note that there is a discovery acknowledgement that's been signed and dated by both sides doing the same, and I make it a part of the record. Also note that there is an application for deferred adjudication or community supervision, and I'll make that a part of the record as well. Mr. Ledesma, I'm going to go back into share screen. I'm going to show you a document called the defendant's consent to plea by video conference. I'll scroll down to electronic signature that I'm circling with my cursor. Is this your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
Signing this, you're telling me two things. One is that you understand normally we do pleas live and in court, but that you are consenting to do this plea by video conference. Did you understand that when you signed this document?
Yes, sir.
Secondly, your electronic signature on this document, as well as all the other electronic signatures on the plea packet before me today, you're telling me that those are valid as if you personally signed them. Did you understand that before you signed this document?
Yes, sir.
I approve the consent and I make it a part of the record. And we're going to go back into share screen another time to show you the court's admonishments. Several pages long, so let me scroll through, but are you familiar with this document?
Yes, sir. I just signed.
Did you go over this with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Bottom of page 3 is electronic signature. Is this the one you just signed?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to get out of share screen. By signing the court's admonishments, you are telling me that you understand the court's admonishments, that you understand the rights that are contained within it. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And that you want to give up those rights. Is that true?
Yes, sir.
And the rights that you're giving up is you have the right to a trial by jury. You have a right to confront the witnesses against you. You also have the right to remain silent, which includes the right not to incriminate yourself and not plead today. Did you understand that before you signed this?
Yes, sir.
Signing this, you're also telling me you understand the consequences of a plea and the sentencing range for the offense, which is anywhere from 2 to 10 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand that before you signed this?
Yes, sir.
You've applied for deferred adjudication, sir, and there are risks and benefits associated with that. The benefits are, is if it's granted, then you will not be found guilty of the offense, and instead you'll be placed on community supervision, which if you're successful at that, the case is dismissed. But the risks are, if you're not successful, you could be revoked. And if you are revoked, then you would be found guilty of the offense on that day. You're subject to the full sentencing range I just announced. Did you understand that before you signed the court's?
Yes, sir. I understand.
Did you understand that before you applied for deferred adjudication?
Yes, sir. I understood.
And do you still wish to apply, understanding all that?
Yes, sir.
I approve the waivers that are contained within the court's admonishments. I make them a part of the record. We're going to go back to share screen another time, sir, and we're going to show you the plea bargain in the case. You familiar with this document?
Yes, sir.
Did you go over this with your attorney?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Electronic signature to the left, I'm using my cursor to circle around. There's another one to the right, I'm using my cursor to circle around. Are these your two electronic signatures?
Yes, sir.
This document details for me your agreement with the state as far as punishment is concerned, and I'll let you know if I'm going to follow this prior to the entry of your plea. That there'll be punishment will be assessed with a cap of 4 years in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice with the $1,500 fine. The state is going to be silent on your application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. One of your signatures, the one to the left, waives your appeal. Is that your understanding of the agreement, sir?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, is that your understanding as well?
Yes, it is.
Sir, I'm not bound by, let me get out of share screen, by the way. Sir, I'm not bound by a plea bargain. I do not have to follow this. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
But if I do follow the plea bargain, then you lose your right to appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
That's true unless I grant you permission to appeal or unless certain motions are filed and ruled upon. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Counsel, any such rulings in this case?
No, Your Honor.
If I do not follow the plea bargain, I will allow you to withdraw the plea and will proceed to trial as if this hearing never occurred. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I'll note again, one of your signatures on the plea bargain waives your appeal. Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
If not, then a plea of guilty or no contest to the offense would have serious adverse effects on your immigration status. And I'll note that you certified in the court's admonishments that you are an American citizen. Counsel, do you believe that your client has a factual and rational understanding of the charge pending against him?
I do, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's been able to assist you in the defense?
Yes, he has.
Do you believe he's mentally competent to waive rights and enter a plea here today?
I believe he is.
Sir, to the offenses listed on your indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Do you understand that you can still be found guilty under a no contest plea?
Yes, sir.
Other than the plea bargain, did anyone promise you anything in exchange for your plea today?
No, sir.
Anyone force you or coerce you to plead today?
No, sir.
After going over this case with your attorney, do you believe that pleading here today is in your best interest?
Yes, sir.
Does the state have anything to offer to support the plea?
State offers States Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objection, Your Honor.
It's admitted. I reviewed State's Exhibit 1 and attachments prior to getting on the record and find that it is sufficient to support the plea. Sir, I find that your plea was freely, intelligently, and voluntarily made, that there was sufficient evidence to support the plea, and that you're mentally competent to enter into such a plea. I'm going to order a pre-sentence investigation report and a TAP evaluation. We'll come back on another day for sentencing. Mr. Ledesma, we're almost going to conclude your hearing. When we do, you cannot leave the courtroom until you, and I'll note for the record, you are in our courtroom and our courtroom camera. The rest of us are all on video. But our court liaison officer, Ms. Serrano, is in the courtroom. She is from the probation department. You must check in with her and talk to her before you are allowed to leave the court. And I'm going to say the courtroom, you, her, and others are all wearing your masks. Well, everyone socially distanced and such like that. Is there anything else from either side in regards to the plea or to this, or just to the plea?
Nothing from the state.
No, Your Honor.
All right, the matter is concluded for now. We are in recess and I'm turning off YouTube Live.